Today I had a white wood box that I had laying around and these new tissue papers from Prima. This one's called Zoe and it comes in these 2 sheets and it basically is called tissue paper, but if you actually felt the texture, it reminds me of a dryer sheet. So it's not as delicate as a piece of tissue paper. And basically you are going to just use it for decoupage. And I'm just cutting right now and making it fit the frame of this box and with a pair of scissors. And I'm going to be using Wise Owl Varnish as my Mod Podge, shall I say, and a foam brush. And I'm just applying it underneath the tissue paper on both sides, laying it down and then putting a coat over top of the paper. This box is very heavy and not really easy to move around, so I decided to let this first frame completely dry before I moved on. A couple tips is it almost appeared like it wasn't going to stick correctly. This is my first time using this particular product, but it actually dried and adhered very well. It was just being patient and letting it sit overnight. Now I took an 80 grit sanding block and I'm just going around and I am cleaning up the edges and basically sanding off any overhang of the paper. It's coming off quite easy and just slivers. It's working fine. So now I've decided to continue with the box, and I'm going to be hitting the end and the other 2 sides and just repeating the same process. First the varnish, then the paper, and the varnish again. This particular pattern is a lot of the Paris black and white wording, postage, just little labels all over, and it's really, really pretty, as a matter of fact. It has the love letter on there, and again, the varnish, the paper, and then the varnish again. This paper can be found on chalkitupfancy.com. We have 2 separate prints of this. This is Zoe, and there is another pattern. I don't know it off the top of my head. I do have succulent tissue paper coming in as well. And again, it's called tissue paper, but it does not feel delicate like tissue paper. It actually feels like a dryer sheet. That's the only way I can explain it. so just about done. Now, you know, again, we did the varnish, paper varnish. This stage is now it's dry. I'm using an 80 grit. You must wait for it to completely dry. And I am sanding off all the excess paper. If you just hit it roughly on the edge, it basically just, you know, cuts right off. And then when it was completely done, I decided to do a final coat of the Wise Owl varnish. Now, this is very rough cut lumber that I put this paper on, and I was very pleased. I thought it came out really good, and there you go. Again, chalkitupfancy.com. Thank you so much.